Hi, my name is Angie Yulkoliff, and I am the Director of Disability Services here at Blue Ridge Community College. I would just like to take a couple of minutes and tell you about some of the services that I provide. First of all, my primary role is to serve as a student advocate. So I support all students, but especially students with disability, and I determine what accommodations may be appropriate for them. I also provide services to faculty as a resource. So if you ever have questions about a student with a disability or how to accommodate, I am here to support you. And then finally, I advise the college as a whole with anything related to the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, or Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. We, all employees, are the college. So any type of decisions that we make may or may not make us vulnerable to liability and litigation. So it's really important that we try to minimize that. First of all students with or without a disability must adhere to the same academic and conduct standards as everyone else. And the purpose of accommodations is to minimize the impact of the disability, but all standards remain the same. So related to conduct and academic standards are technical standards. Technical standards can be found on our website. Technical standards for every program have been developed and they are available for you to see. And all students must meet the technical standards with or without reasonable accommodations. And if you have questions about that, we can definitely have that conversation. The way I determine what accommodations are reasonable, so first of all, the student and I have a conversation. So it's based on what they tell me. It's based on my observations of the students, and then also from the documentation that they provide me from an expert. So whether it's from a psychologist or from a medical professional. So I review all of that. Then the next thing I ask, does this disability affect a major life activity? And then after that, I determine what accommodations are appropriate and reasonable. And if you ever have questions about how I make that determination, you can certainly ask. Student responsibilities. So students are responsible to self-identify. So they must let us know that they have a disability. They must provide documentation of the disability. And then they have a conversation with me about the disability and how it affects them in the classroom. And then finally, once we create that accommodation plan, it's their responsibility to give you, the instructor, the accommodation plan. Once the accommodation plan is created, then we must provide the accommodations that I have approved. If a student has no accommodation plan, they get no accommodations. So if a student asks for that and they don't have a plan, then refer them to me, and then we can go through that process. The college responsibilities, so we are responsible for providing access to all of our programs and campus activities, whether it's on campus or off campus. And it is our responsibility to provide reasonable accommodations and, of course, adhere to confidentiality. Once you receive the accommodation plan, discuss the accommodations with the student, and then the two of you together will decide how to provide those accommodations. So an example, where will the student test for testing in a quiet room, extra time, those types of things. And if you ever have any questions about that, I am here to help. Finally, the last thing to remember is that all materials used in a classroom must be accessible. And we have folks on campus who can assist with that. So just reach out to me and then we can decide who's appropriate. My phone number is 828-694-1813, and then my email address is a_UHL-KALEV@blueridge.edu. Thank you so much.